Hey everyone! So we are into our fourth video and our fourth week. So at this point, you should be really turning up the energy for Chiropractic for the World Foundation's Light Up the World Week. So your poster should be up and the donation jar should be up. The goal poster should be up, and you should also have some of your numbers and possibly some of your incrementations climbing to the top. Also, have you been talking to your patients about referral requests? If you haven't, this is the time to do it. One of the ways that I find it really effective to do so is at the front desk, whoever's greeting the patients, ask John, "Hey John, did you hear that we were having a special week coming up to celebrate Chiropractic's birthday? Did you hear about it?" And if John says yes, then you can say, "Hey John, is there anybody in your family that we haven't checked yet for subluxation or checked their nervous system?" And depending on what he says, you can say, "Awesome. We want to schedule them to get checked on that day, September 18th, during Chiropractic for the World's Light Up the World Week." And if he hadn't heard about it, this is the opportunity for you to talk about it with him. So you talk about the availability of chiropractic throughout the world. You can even ask John, "Where would your life be without chiropractic?" and see what he says. That's an easy way to do it. The next step on that plane would be if you say to John, "Well, maybe think of someone, because the doctor in the back is going to ask you who you're thinking about. And I wanted to give you a heads up." So then when he goes into the back to get his adjustment, your doctor can follow that up by saying, "So John, I know that Carrie at the front desk was asking you about who you've been thinking about that could get checked the week of Chiropractic for the World Foundation's Light Up the World Week." So John could have an answer because the doctor's going to be asking. And John and the doctor could have an interaction. And John could say, "Well, you know what? I've been thinking about my friend so-and-so at work because they've got some pain and I was thinking that maybe they should get checked." And then the doctor can say, "Awesome. I'm going to walk you to the front and we'll get Carrie to schedule your friend for Light Up the World Week." There you go. Pretty simple. But you take some communication. You may have to run through it once, but I already ran through it with you. So now you kind of know what to say and you kind of know what to do. So this is how your referral requests work. You can also just ask your patients, who have you been thinking about lately? Who do you know that's the sickest of your friends? Who do you know that's at the end of their rope who needs something different in their life? Why don't we get them checked for the week of Chiropractic's birthday? Wouldn't that be a great gift to give to them for Chiropractic's birthday? I think it would. So that's how you can start it. You also may have some patients who have a few people in their family. You can give them the gift certificates. How is the referral drive going in your office? Are there people that you've talked to that you haven't followed up with yet? Check on those people. You could call them. You don't have to wait for them to come back into the office. I've done that and it works really well because by the time they come back in the office, what if you're busy? You may not catch them the first time. So make a phone call to that patient and just say, "Hey, I know you were talking about your sister. Did you get a chance to talk to her?" And if the patient is a little bit hesitant about what to say, guess what? You're the CA, you're the doctor, you're the leader. You could call them and you could invite them yourself. Wouldn't that be amazing to get a call from a doctor or from another office to a patient, to their friend or family member that says, "I care about you enough that I really want you to get checked"? I think that's pretty amazing. So how are the referral requests going? How is the goal setting going? Are you reaching your goals? Are you talking it up in the office? Is there enough buzz going on? If not, this is the time to crank it up.
So why is this called Light Up the World Week? Light up the world with chiropractic? Because that's really what we do as chiropractors, is we turn on the power. We get the life energy flowing the way it's meant to flow, right? When we have a dark room, do we have actually the presence of darkness or the absence of light? Take a look at this. Is darkness an entity? Do you have the presence of darkness or the absence of light? Think about it. That's right. The absence of light, because light is an energy. So if there is an absence of light energy, you're going to have a completely dark room. As soon as you light a match in that room, you can never recreate that dark room. You'll never have complete darkness. So the more light you throw into that room, the brighter the room, and you have a nice bright room. So what happens with cold? Do you have the presence of cold, or do you have the absence of heat? Again, it's the lack of heat energy that makes it you're going to have cold, because cold is not an entity, but the energy is the heat. So again, the more heat you have, the more you're going to be away from the cold. But it's not the entity of cold, it's the presence of the heat energy. Now what about dis-ease? With dis-ease, do you have the presence of dis-ease? Is that the entity? Or is it the absence of life energy? And that's exactly what we're talking about in chiropractic, is that what we're doing is we're making sure that the life energy is flowing to the max so that that person could be as whole as they're meant to be. Because the absence of life gives the illusion of the presence of disease, but in fact, disease is just a manifestation of the lack of life energy. So as chiropractors, when we give an adjustment, that adjustment allows the life energy to flow to its full potential, making that person can express the life they were meant to express. With every adjustment, we light people up with the life they're meant to express. So let's get out there and light up the world with chiropractic.